Invented in 1891, basketball is still bouncing over 130 years later. When James Naismith, a gym teacher in Massachusetts, created the game of basketball, it's difficult to imagine that he would even fathom how much popularity the sport had gained. The basketball program at Armstrong High School is not only a major part of the school, but also a major pastime for the community. For years, maybe even decades, the same faces can be seen in the stands, whether they are present to watch a particular player or to be entertained by the local talent of our students. Naismith's intention when inventing the game was simple: keep people active during the winter months when outside sports in blustery New England are not possible. Not only did and does the sport do just that, but it also gets people to cheer for their local heroes. Watching our high schoolers do their thing on the court gives the community something to look forward to, as many players from our communities have played at the NCAA level. And it gives them something to stand behind and support. Watching our young athletes find both glory and defeat on the court allows spectators to witness a small piece of tradition being carried forward as the years pass. AHS basketball has a couple of traditions to look forward to, but the main one, and most important, is the tip-off tournament. The tip-off tournament is the official start to basketball season. This tournament is unique, and boys and girls teams play in the same location over the 2-day tournament. Not only varsity teams are given the opportunity to play, but junior varsity teams also practice their skills in 2 matches in the second gym on Armstrong's campus. During the tip-off tournament weekend, a total of 16 basketball games are played by students at Armstrong, Butler, Deer Lakes, Kiski area, Knock, and Westmont Hilltop high schools. Let's have a chat with some of the coaches and players.
This is Will Adams with AHS-TV. I'm here with the Armstrong boys head coach, Coach Kowalowski, and I have a couple questions for him. How do you feel that your team is going to do this season?
Well, if we can continue the effort tonight, our effort was good, our decision making, and our turnovers weren't so good. If we can continue that effort, hopefully we can win some games.
All right. And who do you think your toughest opponent on your schedule is going to be?
Well, I'll tell you, Will, everybody in our section's pretty good. Penn Hills, Shaler, Fox Chapel. So we got a lot of good teams to play, so we'll see.
All right, and last of all, what do you think your biggest strength on your team would be?
I think we didn't show tonight, but I think our ability to make shots from the outside. We struggled a little bit tonight, but I think that's going to be our strength.
All right. That is all we have with Coach Kowalowski. Make sure you tune in to some of the games this season and watch the boys ball out. We are here at the tip-off tournament with Armstrong boys and girls basketball teams. I'm here with one of the JV starters for the girls basketball team. I'm going to ask her a couple questions. Can I get your name and jersey number?
Gemma Swartz, number 2.
Who do you look up to most on the team?
Emma Paul.
And how do you feel that you're going to be moving up to varsity in the upcoming years?
It's going to be a lot harder, I think. I think there's going to be more competition, and then we're losing all of our seniors, so then it's going to be really hard.
That is all we have with Gemma Swartz. I'm here with a JV starter from the Armstrong boys basketball team who also plays a lot of varsity for being a freshman. We're going to start out with your name and jersey number.
My name is Jaden Oliver. I wear number 12.
And who do you look up to the most on the team?
I'd say Ian Olson.
And how do you feel about playing varsity at such a young age?
It's pretty intimidating, but I guess I got to get through it.
And I hope you have good success this season. Make sure you tune in for the boys' basketball games. This is Will Adams with AHS-TV, and we are over to Rocco with the captains.
Hello, I'm Rocco Swartz of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, I'm with Jack Valasak, Isaiah Riggle, and Isaiah Brown, team captains of the AHS boys basketball team. Let's get into it. All right, so what high school achievement are you guys most proud of?
Personally, my most one I'm proud of is probably beating Kiski in our own tournament last year in the tip-off and the championship.
You say?
Probably that as well, but I also say
we have this holiday tournament we just started doing last year. I think we're gonna do it every year. We like just travel a state close, but like a couple hours away, and then play a basketball tournament against our local teams. And last year we went to Virginia, right?
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
And then we played a couple teams from there, and then we faced off against Lindsley High, and they were supposed to be this really good team, and we ended up beating them, so it went actually pretty good. That was probably my best moment.
You, Riggle?
I would say the same things, you know. We haven't really done much as a team so far, so you got to look at the bright spots, and winning some tournaments are always good things.
What is the best advice you'd give any of the underclassmen?
Probably just work hard and worry about yourself. That's about it.
Yeah, true. Don't worry about what others are putting out there on social media or any of that. Don't worry about anyone else. Just stick to your grind and keep doing your thing.
Yeah, just focus on yourself and always be grinding, be in the gym.
Do you guys have any pregame rituals?
Nah. I just go play.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Mine is to blare some violent music in my ears and hope for the best.
I just listen to music and get locked in.
I do take a nice nap before every game.
Yeah, but
Reasonable. That sounds like a pretty good pregame ritual. Do any of you plan on playing basketball in college?
Nah, probably not.
Definitely must not. I'm probably going to focus on football.
I am. I'm going to a D3 school to play, so.
There you go. What is in your basketball bag that might be surprising to people?
Probably about 17 empty water bottles. That's about it.
Well, I'm hurt right now. When I was playing, I probably had like 17 empty water bottles in there too. But for now, I definitely say I have all of my away jersey equipment, all of my home stuff. I have my basketball shoes. I have everything just in case someone forgets their stuff. Because like I'm not playing, but I might as well carry it.
Yeah, I got all my stuff, and I keep some muscle rub in case I cramp up or anything.
What is your most memorable shot?
Probably last year, Fox Chapel. I think we were down 2, and I hit a 3 with like 10 seconds left to win the game. So that was definitely the most memorable one.
Yeah. Mine, look, I'm gonna have to take this back to junior high. Who were we playing? You crossed.
Are you talking about your half-court shot?
No, the post fade.
I forget.
I don't remember, but it was a crazy clip because Jack crossed someone up and broke his ankles, and the kid hit the floor and then dished it to me in the post. And I never shoot the ball, but for some reason I was feeling that I hit a post fade and drained it. I was like, wow, all right.
You, Riggle?
I hit a game winner in my first ever JV high school game, so
I remember that. That was
pretty
crazy.
sick.
Yeah.
If you could play with any of the any NBA player, who would be the player you'd want to play with?
Probably Larry Bird. He's a dog. I like Larry Bird. That's
You
my
got the
idol.
stash
Yes,
to,
sir.
I'd have to say Shaq because he's physical. He's huge. Obviously, he's gonna body me, but like he's a funny guy. He's hilarious. I feel like I could be comfortable around and be myself and be like having jokes and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with LeBron. That's my guy. So
LeBron was my next. You might be
Yeah, I
shaking
hate
your head,
LeBron.
but I like him.
What is your guys' favorite team memory? Something that you do with the team?
Probably just traveling for the Christmas tournaments. That's always fun. Staying in a hotel for 2 days with your boys. I always have a good time doing that. So.
Yeah, definitely the hotel and the holiday tournament because we get to partner up with a teammate. Coaches, you would have us have our free time for a couple hours. We go out to eat, and then he'll check in on us, make sure we're all in our rooms by time to go to bed. But it's all pretty fun. So yeah, definitely that.
yeah, I'd say the same with bus rides and stuff. It's always a good time.
Is there any significance in the jersey number that you guys choose? Or is it just...
Freshman year, that's the one I got handed, and that's what I wear. So basically, that's about it.
Same here. My number's always been 24, but my freshman year, Olsen was rocking it, so I had to just get 22. I was like, it is what it is. I don't really care what number I wear. I'm just going to ball, so.
I've always been 10 my whole life, except for my freshman and sophomore year because it was taken. But other than that, it's just been my number.
Do you look up to any coaches or like professional players at all?
I mean, my dad's a coach, so I look up to him. So
I'd probably say another coach of ours, Nate Bailey, because we've played the same position, and he's kind of coached me out of my shell from being just like turning from a good athlete into like a great basketball player, like using post moves and stuff like that. So definitely Nate Bailey.
Yeah, I'd say my dad and Coach Nate, I've been around them all my life, so always been looking up to them and listening to what they got to say.
How do you guys stay motivated after a loss?
I mean, I probably get the most angry out of anybody after a loss. But I just want to come back and I want to win, score points every game. So that's what I love to do.
Yeah, personally, I just don't let it affect me. I'm like, it's on to the next game. We had a setback, it's okay, we'll move on. But for sure, Jack is most angry after every single game. Either punching lockers, throwing water bottles, throwing his book bags, slamming stuff. But hey, we'll get him next time. So
Yeah, just got to have that next day mentality. Just new day, new results. Just keep working.
Final question. If you guys were a fruit, what would you be and why?
okay. Yeah.
Probably strawberry. That's my favorite fruit. I like eating them. That's about it. I don't know.
Strawberries are nasty.
I can't go yet. Regal, you got to go on this one.
Jack took my answer, so I'll say a watermelon. That's a top fruit.
I'm gonna have to say apple because I'm crisp and refreshing. Yeah.
A huge thank you to Jack Balasek, Isaiah Riggle, and Isaiah Brown for joining us today to get a Hawks Eye view on the AHS boys basketball team. We're going to be doing something a little differently today. We got so much amazing footage at the Armstrong Tip-Off Tournament that we'll be ending this segment letting our audience appreciate the talent of all the young athletes in this competition.
Hello, I'm Chloe Ward of AHS-TV. In this segment of Best of the Nest, we'll take a look at the concept of being better, how the staff at AHS is actively working on this goal, and how the students are perceiving these efforts. I'm joined by Mrs. Gretchen Contrael to talk about being better at AHS. Thank you for joining us today. To start things off, tell us a bit about yourself.
I teach 11th grade English at Armstrong High School.
What do you think it means to be better? Okay.
To be better, I think, means improving yourself, reflecting on what kind of person you are and how you affect others, and trying to improve upon that.
Today's episode focuses on being better. Why do you think this topic is essential to young people today?
I think social media actually plays a large part in that. I think today, when people post things or are snapping people, they're only showing the best parts of their lives and maybe not their true selves. So I think that it really affects a lot of young people today mentally. So I think it's important to really look at who you are and trying to improve on that instead of putting yourself out there in a way that isn't true to yourself.
What are some ways you think everybody overall can be better?
Well, personally, I like to journal, and I like to kind of reflect on my day. And when things don't go well, then it kind of helps me to put things into perspective and try to find something I'm grateful for every day, and then something that I want to improve on about myself every day.
In the previous episode, we talked briefly about social emotional learning that's occurring one period every 6-day cycle during homeroom. What do you think sparked the need for this instruction?
I'm not sure where the idea came from. I've heard different stories on that, but I think in general, we at AHS had our core values, and we would recite them, and we had a new one every month. And I think that combined with this, it just more or less focuses on that idea and helps students to kind of build a better community for our school. And I think over the years, when we've had negative things happen, we've kind of taken that and used it to improve upon ourselves as a school. For example, with our sports teams and their new organizations, we have a lot of clubs that do good things for the community, but now I think we're trying to include everybody, not just clubs, into that.
Okay. What benefits with the particular curriculum we're using can you note?
Well, my homeroom is a lively group, and that's who I work with. And I enjoy listening to what they have to say. Some of them are more forthcoming than others, but I think in the end, some of the activities really draw everybody in, and I've learned a lot about my students, which I enjoy.
Have you seen any deficiencies with this program?
Well, I do, honestly, if I'm speaking truth. Some things are very redundant. They give us certain activities like memes, but the pictures repeat themselves after a certain amount of time. Or they give us certain activities to do to move around, but they repeat themselves over time. And I feel like that part maybe makes my kids a little resistant to it because we've done the same thing over and over. Even though the topic's different, the activities are the same.
Being that we've been using this program for a bit over a month, are there any positive changes that you've noticed to our students, faculty, and staff as a result of this?
Well, like I said, I don't know day to day if I'm noticing changes, but I think combining PBIS, this program, the core values, integrating clubs and sports, I feel like as an overall atmosphere, we've improved.
Okay. In what other ways do you think that the school as a whole has been promoting the idea of being better?
Like I said, I just think as a community, hopefully people are noticing and paying attention better to the way they treat one another. Hopefully people are becoming more active and feeling more comfortable around people. I know, like in my class, for example, when we work in groups, I try to sometimes tell them we're making new friends today. And I think that kind of came out of this program. Like, you're not going to sit just with the people you're always comfortable with. You're going to move around and talk to others. And I feel like this program's helped that to not be such a big deal. I also think that, you know, some of the ideas in the program have sparked good things, like I said, like in all activities, including sportsmanship and so forth.
We'll return to this discussion with Mrs. Gretchen Contrael to get a hawk's eye view, but first, let's take a look at our students' perceptions about being better.
Good evening. I'm Mason Aldridge of AHS-TV. Looking at our school community and even society at large, we have noticed a difference in how people treat each other and the space around them. Our class wanted to look into this further to discover the reason why, what's being done about it, and how we can simply be better. Let's talk to some of the students to examine their thoughts.
Learning with Mitchell. How are you doing, Mitchell?
Good.
Can I ask you some questions, Mitchell?
Sure.
In what ways have you seen people caring for others?
Well, my friend, like in dodgeball, we were playing dodgeball in gym, and my friend like got absolutely whammed in the face, and the kid just came up and like helped him get up because he fell over.
That's good. You think there is more kind behavior or more bad behavior?
It's kind of 50-50, honestly.
Why do you suppose that is?
Kids are just jerks.
If you could name one thing that would help people better, what would it be?
Stop fighting.
That is Mason McCourt. Do you think there's more kind behavior or more inconsiderate behavior?
Usually more inconsiderate.
Why do you suppose that is?
A lot of times, I mean, it could be any reason really, but like most of the time it's that people don't have the right support system to be like supported and have enough attention to have the correct feeling of like acceptance.
If you name one thing that would help people better themselves, what would it be?
Just talk to people. I mean, if they say no, just take it with a grain of salt, you know? Not a lot of people are going to accept you, but you got to look for the right people that are going to accept you. Because if you don't look, you're never going to find anybody.
There you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawks Peak. Back to you in the studio, Chloe.
Thank you, Mason. For those of you just joining us, I'm Chloe Ward of AHS-TV, and I'm speaking with Mrs. Gretchen Contrael about her experiences and observations about being better in the school environment. As a teacher, you show an incredible amount of patience and kindness and serve as a great example to our students. What does it mean to you to be better?
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. Like I said, I just think being better is improving on who you are. Everybody has room for improvement. I teach American Lit. So Ben Franklin made a list of things he wanted to correct about himself, and he worked on one item on the list until he felt that he had accomplished it to his happiness or acceptance. And I feel like we could all benefit for things like that. I think it's just wanting to change and do well, you know, with that.
What are some positive things you've noticed this year?
Well, I've been very fortunate. The last several years, I've had wonderful students, and I truly like them all, and I've noticed that they all seem to get along. Every class feels like a little family to me. So I don't know, that makes me very happy as a teacher, and it's really painful also as a teacher because at the end of the year, it's really hard for me to separate from my group and get a new one, so.
Is there anything you wish people would do to make the world in general a better place?
Oh, so many things. You know, right now I think the world's in such a state of turmoil, and I think just putting forth understanding. Everybody doesn't have to believe what you believe or think what you think or feel what you feel to get along with them. Just accept people's differences and be patient with them, and I think that would change the world, really.
And to wrap things up, when thinking about fruit salad, would you rather have bananas or maraschino cherries?
I don't like bananas. Cherries!
Thank you to Mrs. Gretchen Contrael for joining us today to get the Hawk's Eye view on being better. Until next time, I'm Chloe Ward of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.